is just 2 weeks from today. We're sitting down with all 7 of the candidates running for 3 open spots on the Columbia Board of Education. Earlier today, ABC 17 News anchor Lucas Geisler sat down with candidate Paul Harper.
Paul Harper, candidate for the Columbia Public Schools Board of Education. Thank you very much for joining us here on ABC 17 News. Just to get things started, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your candidacy?
Sure. I'm the father of 2 daughters. My oldest graduated from Rockbridge High School in 2020. My youngest graduates this year. I'm a lifetime public servant. I started out as a special education teacher and then decided maybe special ed wasn't for me. I went to law school, worked for the state for 20 years, still actually work for the state today. In that time, I worked 7.5 years as the general counsel of State Auditor Nicole Galloway.
You've made teacher pay one of the big parts of your candidacy for this at Columbia Public Schools. Mm-hmm. How does the district afford future raises for the district? This has been a huge issue for teachers unions, and job retention as well. How does the district afford it?
We've got a big budget. We need to drill down into that budget, and we need to find the money. In a $250 million budget, we should be able to find various things. For example, little things like the coffee contract that was $15,000. We didn't need that. Whenever I'm on the board, I intend to drill down into those things and ensure that we have extra funds to pay not only teachers but hourly employees, bus drivers, extra supports for teachers. It's not just teachers, it's all employees of the district. We need to be competitive statewide, and we need to pay our people better.
The district and the school board recently have been dealing with the recent test results, at least from the state, coming in lower than I think they've been historically here. What are your thoughts on where CPS is on the state's test scores, and what do you think would help kick those up higher?
Yeah. To be fair, I think you're talking about the MSIP, the
Yes.
Missouri State Improvement Plan. They just changed some things, so you really can't compare previous years to this year. But yes, it is low. We received a 70% in the district. I think what is most striking, though, is that we've got schools that are in the 80%, and we've got schools that are in the 20%. And that's very disconcerting for me. As a taxpayer, as a parent, that we have such disparate measures within our school. Because while we can't compare year to year, we certainly can compare school to school within the same year, and we need to be doing more for those schools that are hitting those lower marks.
From a board perspective, what do you think you can do to help positively affect those?
Well, we need to make sure that we put some more funds into those schools. Right now it's almost even per student. The Title I schools need more money. The schools, there are several schools up north that, quite frankly, sometimes in order to achieve equitable education, you need to put extra money into different areas. It doesn't mean equality doesn't necessarily mean that you're giving everybody the same thing. It's that you're giving everyone enough so that everyone can progress on their educational goals, and that's what we need to be doing in this district.
There were 3 board members in January that abstained from renewing the superintendent's contract on the grounds that they felt the process was rushed on offering a contract extension to Dr. Yearwood here. What do you think about the process of reviewing and evaluating the superintendent's performance when it comes to keeping the superintendent on board?
Well, one of the things that the school board does is it sets the framework for the district, and they're expected to ensure the district follows that framework. Well, it's pretty bad whenever the district doesn't actually follow its own rules, and they didn't that time because they rushed it. Several of the board members hadn't actually done their evaluations. They should have been following their own process, and they were right to abstain. Until the process is done, they should not have held that vote.
Paul Harper, I appreciate your time on this. Any other big issues facing the district that you're looking forward to taking on if elected?
One thing that I've been talking about is financial transparency. We aren't always transparent in our financial matters. I would like to see more financial data online. I would like to see something like the state accountability portal where you can actually search exactly how we are spending our money, because as an outsider right now, it's very hard for me to figure out where we're spending our money, and whether that's getting our own or asking the state if we can get onto their portal because they've got a local government section. I would love to see more financial data so that we can be more financially transparent.
Be sure to tune in to our newscasts at 6:30 over the next week as we sit down with the other 6 candidates for Columbia's Board of Education. Tomorrow, I'll be interviewing John Lyman on his campaign.